All right, so good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We're going to talk about theoretical experimental probability. It's important. This is going to be a longer session. It may be 2 videos. We'll see. But this is the basic core of this unit, is finding out what the chances are of something happening. That's probability. So first we're going to talk about the outcomes. So just like, what are the possibilities when we're talking about a situation? And sample space is a term given to just a group of what are all the outcomes. Let's group them together. Let's display them. That's our sample space. So simply, here's one. It says a sample space of dice rolls. So of all the numbers that we can roll with the dice, here they all are listed out. And that's our sample space for that particular situation. The number of outcomes is just count the number in the sample space. We have 6 outcomes, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll count them, that's 6. So now we have a situation where our sample space is a little smaller because we're saying, well, you only want to talk about the odd dice rolls. So whenever we roll an odd number, what are the possibilities for that? We have a 1, 3, and 5. Those are the only way we can roll odd numbers with the dice. So the number of outcomes, again, is just count the number of items in our sample space. So we have 3 outcomes where there is an odd roll. Next, we have a sample space of selecting 2 people from a group of 3. So we have 3 people, and we're going to select 2 of them. So we have Gene, Trey, and Demetrius. One group could be Gene and Trey. Another group could be Trey and Demetrius, and the third group could be Gene and Demetrius. Here we don't want to say order matters, we're just picking a group. So here it's just picking 2 people, and there's 3 possible outcomes. Okay. Now we want to ask, does order matter? And here's where we're going to create number of outcomes without listing them out, because it would be too much work, and we don't want to do that. So now we just want to determine, does order matter, and that will basically show how to calculate it. So yes, the number of outcomes, yes, the order matters. Then the number of outcomes is using this permutation function. The n, remember, was the total number in our set, and the r was our target. So if we had 7 things and we were going to be taking 5 of them, it'd be 7p5. So here's an example. The number of outcomes when selecting 3 non-repeating digits for lock combination. So we have a lock combination, 3 digits, non-repeating, so 572. And remember, if it's a lock combination, 572 and 275 are different combinations. So yes, order matters here. So our function is 10, which is the total number of digits. Remember, 0 through 9, there's actually 10 digits here. So we have 10 total digits, and we're going to pick 3 of them. And the order matters, so that's why it's the p function, the permutation. So let's go into our Desmos, and I'll type in the permutation function here, and I get a result of 720. So 720 should be my outcome. Next is, if the order does not matter, then the number of outcomes is a combination. And this is the combination function, where n, again, was the total number of things we're looking at, and r was the sample that we wanted to take. So if we had 7 items and we're only going to take 5, 7c5. The number of outcomes in selecting 3 students from a class of 12 to help a teacher. So the situation, there's 12 students, I need 3 helpers, I'm going to grab 3 of them. There's no order that matters there. It just that all 3 are going to be doing the same thing. So it doesn't matter what order you pick them, as long as there are 3 of them. So that's our combination function. We have 12 students total, and we're picking 3 of them. 12C3. So now, go back to Desmos, and I can just type in the function. And remember, the C and the P need to be capitalized. I can't do that. I have to capitalize these, and then it works. 12C3. My total outcome possibilities are 220. So there's 220 ways to pick 3 students out of 12. Alright, so how do we apply this? Probability is essentially just taking the likelihood of a particular outcome, and it's an equation. So some examples of some of these probabilities are the chances of rolling a 4 with 1 dice. So what are the chances of rolling a 4 if you roll in a dice? What are the chances of picking 2 students who wear glasses when randomly choosing 3 students from a class? So that's what probability is. It's saying, okay, given an outcome, what are the chances of it happening over the total amount of outcomes? So theoretical probability is the first thing we'll look at. And this is just saying, instead of using like data from a table or an experiment that someone did, we're just taking the theoretical, what is the possibility if you just did it kind of on average. And so a theoretical probability is based on a situation calculated, given a situation, calculate likelihood based on possible outcomes. So this is the main thing. This is the most important formula we're dealing with probability, is that the situation is, well, what is the probability? We've been asked. This is how we notate it, probability of whatever it is. And when I say favorable outcome, that's just what is our target? Are we looking at the probability of the 4 when we're rolling? So that's where that 4 would go in here. The number of favorable outcomes. So remember, in our sample space, our combinations, our permutations, we're coming up with a number. So we want to determine the number of favorable outcomes. How many times are we, how many ways can we get a 4 when we're rolling the dice? That goes up here. And then we divide it by the total possible outcomes. So that is just the total, like a sample space of the dice roll. How many ways can we roll the dice? How many outcomes are there? Okay. And so here, what I've been explaining, the probability of rolling a 4 with 1 dice, how we set that up is we just put the probability of rolling a 4 is equal to the number of outcomes resulting in 4. So how many different ways, if we roll just one time, how many ways can we get a 4? Divided by the number of outcomes for rolling a dice. When I'm about to roll that dice, how many different outcomes are there possible total? And so the number of outcomes resulting in a 4 is just 1. If we looked at the sample space for the number of dice roll outcomes, it's just 1 through 6. So only 4 shows up once. And the total number of outcomes for rolling a dice is 6. So there's 6 different outcomes when rolling a dice, okay? So the answer to this question is 1 divided by 6, which is about 16.7%. Okay, that was a pretty basic, simple example. Now we're going to talk about situations where combinations or permutations are in play. So here is my probability equation. I want to look at the number of favorable outcomes and divide them by the total possible outcomes. So the first question here is probability that a 3-digit non-repeating lot code has only odd digits out of the digits 0 through 9. Okay, so what that's saying is if I pick 3 numbers, how many different ways can I get those 3 numbers to be odd? Only odd. So 1, 3, 5. 5, 3, 9. So just all the types of combinations. What are the chances of it being an odd, all 3 odd? So that's, we're going to write the probability of 3 odd digits. And we're going to list the number of ways. We're going to calculate the number of ways to get 3 odd digits. and divide that by the number of ways to just get 3 digits total. So how many different ways can we just get 3 digits out of my 0 through 9? And this is a permutation because the order matters. So we'll use the permutation function. And 5 is the number of odd numbers in the set 0 through 9. So if we think about it, 0 through 9, there's only 5 odd numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 5 different odd numbers, and I'm picking 3 of them. And we're going to divide that by the total number of digits possible to be choosing from, which is the 0 through 9. So there's 10 possible digits to be chosen, and I'm picking 3 of them. So I'm picking out of the odd, I'll pick 3, and that's the favorable outcome, divided by the total number of digits, choosing 3 of them. So in my Desmos, I want to do permutation. 5 choose 3 is 60. So I have 60 as my numerator. And then I want to do 10p3, and I have 720 as the total number of outcomes for the digits. So my probability is 60 divided by 720, which is about 8%. So the probability that a 3-digit non-repeating lock code has only odd digits, there's no even digits whatever in the 3, that is about 8% likely. Okay, now let's talk about a situation with a combination. So here again is my equation for probability. And the question is, what is the likelihood of choosing 2 red marbles when grabbing 2 from a jar of 12 with 6 white and 6 red? So what this is saying is I have a jar with 12 marbles in it. 6 of them are white, 6 of them are red. I'm going to reach in and grab 2 of them at random. What is the likelihood that I'm going to come out with 2 red marbles? Now, does it matter if I have 1 red and then another red? Does it matter the order? Not really. I'm grabbing 2 at the same time. And if there are 2 red, it doesn't matter. Order does not matter. Okay? And so let's set up our equation. So we want the number of favorable outcomes, which is our 2 marbles, to be red on top, the number of ways to get 2 red marbles, and the number of ways to get 2 marbles in general. And so since this is a combination, the first numerator function, I'm picking 2 of my red marbles. I only have 6 red marbles to choose from. So getting 2 red marbles means that I need to pick them both out of this group of 6. So my numerator is developed, the function is developed from the 6 marbles, and the denominator, I'm looking at the entire jar, so my n of my function is 12. So I have 12 marbles to choose from. I'm getting 2 of them. My numerator, I only want the red one, so I'm only looking at 6 to choose from. So I'll go back to Desmos, and I'll do 6C2, I have 15. So 15 ways to get those 2 red marbles. And then I want to divide that by the total number of outcomes where I just have a combination of 2 marbles, red, white, 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 or red, red. Okay? So there's 66 ways to get 2 marbles from my jar. So there's about a 22% chance that I'll get 2 red marbles when I'm reaching in and grabbing 2 from this jar. So this will end the first video. Please stick around and watch the second video, and it'll be loaded in the same place. Thank you.